Hi, this is Vanessa with Designs by Vanessa. Today's tutorial is on the knotted cowl, and this is just for one size, and I do have a matching slouch beanie. This is what it looks like. To purchase the pattern, there will be a link in the description box. So this is what the slouch beanie looks like, the knotted slouch beanie. So today's tutorial is on a matching cowl, and the pattern comes in sizes baby, toddler, child, and adult, and that's the same for the cowl as well. But today's tutorial is just on the one size, the toddler size. So let's talk about the supplies you'll need. I'm using Lion Brand's Wool Ease Thick and Quick, and I'm using the color Mustard. And I'm using a 16-inch circular needle. It's a size 15. It's a 10 millimeter. You'll need a pair of scissors. I have these in my shop, and I will leave you the link. And you'll need a tape measure to measure the size you like, a large yarn needle with a large eye because we're using super bulky yarn, and a stitch marker to hold your place since we are working in the round. I have a tutorial on how to make these cute little stitch markers, and I will provide the link as well. So this is the Mustard super bulky yarn. So what you want to do is cast on, using whatever method you'd like, 42 plus 1 stitch, so 43 stitches. And I'm going to do the long tail cast on. So do your slip knot, and when you cast on, do it loosely, don't pull on it so tight. So this is my tail end, and this is coming from the ball of yarn. So I put my finger and thumb through that space, pull it back, and then this counts as one stitch as your first cast on. So you go under your thumb this way, over the other strand, back through that same space, and pull tight. And I do have a tutorial where I go a little bit slower for my basic beanie on how I cast on if you're interested. So that's 2, 3, thumb, finger back into that space, that's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So cast on 40 plus 1 stitch. 42 plus 1 stitch, so 43. Okay, so I've casted on 42 and plus 1 because I like to join in a way where you'll drop that last stitch so that you have 42 stitches. So when you join, you want to make sure that your stitches are not twisted, so they're all untwisted here. So I like to join, they call it the invisible method. It's not quite invisible, but I like it and it looks better that way. You could just move forward from here doing 42 stitches. However, let me show you how I do it. So you slip this stitch as if to purl, and then you go and you pick up this stitch here and slip it over, drop it, tighten that, and then you bring that first stitch back to the left hand needle. So now you've joined your round, and you want to grab your stitch marker and place it at the beginning. So let's get started. Rounds 1 through 3 is just knitting all stitches. So let me show you how to do that the traditional style. I knit continental style, so let me show you both ways. So insert your needle through the first loop under your needle, wrap your yarn around counterclockwise, and pull it through and slide off. Insert your needle into the next stitch, wrap your yarn around, pull it up and through and slide off. So you want to make sure that your yarn is in the back. So the yarn is in the back. So knit all of your stitches all the way around. Now, as a crocheter, I find that this is the more comfortable way to hold my needles. So this is continental style. Insert your needle and knit your stitches. Okay, so rounds 1 through 3, you knit all stitches. So I'm at the end of the round. I'm going to knit my last stitch. So to start round 2, all you need to do is move your stitch marker over from your left hand needle to your right hand needle, and then continue knitting the next round. So now it's round 2. So go ahead and knit all of the stitches in round 2 and round 3. Okay, so I am at the end of my round 3. So round 4 is where we start the knot stitches. So if you look here, in between the knot stitches, and they're staggered, are 3 rounds of knit stitches. So now let's do the round that has the knot stitch. So move your needle and your stitch marker to the right hand side, and then in this same 3 stitches, what you want to do is purl 3 together, knit 3 together, and then purl 3 together on the same 3 stitches without sliding the stitches off the needle. Okay, so in order to purl, you want the yarn in the front. Insert purlwise through all 3 stitches. Now you should do this loosely, otherwise you have a hard time getting it to work 3 times. So wrap your yarn around and pull it through. Don't slide this off yet. Now we're going to knit the same 3 stitches. So yarn in the back. Insert your needle through these 3 stitches. Okay, wrap your yarn around. Okay, still leaving it on the needle. Bring the yarn back to the front and purl those 3 stitches one more time. Okay, now you can slide off the stitches. So that is a knot stitch. and then you knit, put the yarn back, you knit 3, 1, 2, 3. So now the repeat is knot stitch, knit 3, knot stitch, knit 3. So you knit, knot stitch, knit 3. That's the repeat. So yarn in the front, purl 3 together. Now you put yarn in the back, knit 3 together, yarn in the front, oops, and purl 3 in the same stitches. Now you can slide those stitches off. Yarn in the back, knit 3, okay, let me show you what that looks like continental. Sorry about that, knocking my camera with my yarn. Okay, so we just knitted 3. Now we have to do the knot stitch. So yarn in front, purl 3. I caught a strand there. Purl 3, okay, yarn in the back, knit 3 together, okay, yarn in the front, purl 3 together, okay. Now slide off your left hand needle. So knit 3, 1, 2, 3. Now the knot stitch again. So yarn in front, purl 3 together, yarn in back, knit 3 together, yarn in front, purl 3 together, all in the same 3 stitches. Now you slide off. Okay, so that is the repeat all the way around. Knot stitch in the first 3 stitches, knit 3, and then knot stitch. So keep repeating that all the way around. Okay, so I'm at the last 3 stitches. I just completed a knot stitch, so I want to knit the last 3 stitches. Okay, move your stitch marker over to the right hand needle. Now rounds, this is round 4, rounds 5, 6, and 7 will be just knit stitches. So knit all of the stitches all the way around for rounds 5, 6, and 7. Okay, so I've just finished my 3 rounds of knit stitches, 5, 6, and 7. So round 8 is a knot stitch round, but you're going to stagger the knot stitches in between the previous knot stitches. So the repeat, I'll move my stitch marker over, the repeat for round 8 is knit 3 and then knot stitch in the next 3. So it's knit 3, knot stitch. That's the repeat all the way around. So let's start with the knit 3, 1, 2, 3. And I'm not going to show you traditional anymore because I knit continental style and it's much more comfortable for me. So let's do the knot stitch again. So it's purl 3 together, knit 3 together, purl 3 together, all in these 3 stitches. So yarn in front, purl 3 together, yarn in back, knit 3 together, yarn in front, purl 3 together. So if you're having trouble, try knitting it loosely and then slide off your needles. Knit 3, 1, 2, 3. Now the knot stitch. So yarn in front, purl 3 together, yarn in back, knit 3 together, yarn in front, and purl 3 together. Okay. Now slide stitches off your needle. So now we have the knot stitches staggered in between the previous knot stitch round. So knit 3, and then knot stitch. So go ahead and repeat the knit 3 and then knot stitch all the way around for round 8. So I'm at the end of round 8. I have my last 3 stitches. I just completed a knit 3, so this is my knot stitch. So yarn in front, purl 3 together, yarn in back, knit 3 together, and yarn back in the front, purl 3 together, and then slide off. And move your stitch marker. So those are the 8 round repeats. Rounds 1 through 3, knit all stitches. 4 is knot stitch, knit 3. Repeat that around. 5, 6, and 7 is knit stitches, and then 8 is knit 3, knot stitch, and that's a repeat all the way around. So repeat those 8 rounds until you get the height that you like. So I'll go ahead and continue on. Okay, so I've repeated rounds 1 through 8 a few times, and I'm happy with the size. You want to make sure that you stop after the 3 rounds of knit stitches. So that's on round 3 or 7, right before the knot stitch repeat, the knot stitch round. So stop at round 3, after round 3 or 7. So the height is very easy to adjust. So this is about 7.5 inches. And the circumference is about 20 inches. Okay, so you're just repeating rounds 1 through 8, and you can stop at 3 or 7. So that gives you about an inch and a half of length of the height for adjusting. So I'm happy with 7.5, and so I'm going to knit the very last stitch, move my stitch marker, and now you want to just cast off. So to cast off, you knit 2, and then grab the first knitted stitch and slip it over this stitch and then drop it. Okay, knit the next stitch and try to do this loosely so that you don't have a tight opening. Again, grab that first stitch and pull it over this stitch. So that's how you cast off. You just repeat, you knit another stitch, grab that first one and pass it over and drop it. Knit the next stitch, grab the first one, pass it over and drop it. Knit the next stitch, grab that first one, pass it over and drop it. So repeat that all the way around. I should show you how to do it traditional style. So you just knit the next stitch, grab that first stitch, pass it over and drop it. So it's not much of a difference except how you hold your yarn. Knit the next stitch, grab that first stitch, pass it over and drop it. Knit the next stitch, grab that one, pass it over and drop it. Okay, so repeat those steps all the way around. Okay, so I'm on my last stitch. I want to knit and cast off. Okay. So you want to cut your yarn with a tail and grab your yarn needle and go back through this loop to tighten, and then there's sort of an opening when you cast off, so go through the top 2 stitches from the first one. Okay, and then go back in the top of the one you just came out of. So you're creating that V look right there. Okay, so that looks much better. And then just weave in your ends. Okay, don't forget this one. All right, now we have our cowl. Isn't that pretty? I love the texture of that. Thank you for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this video.